so important. Okay. So when you do the treating the neck shoulder problem, all you have to worry about is 3 movements. Okay. Okay. You ask the patient to turn neck. Okay. Side to side, rotation, and forward, backward. Okay. This is the essential, include all the movement the neck will do. Yes. Okay. Okay. Only 3 exercises. The impact of the neck shoulder muscle, migraine, tension headache, TMJ, ring in the ear, vertigo, even eye pain. What is the patient can say, oh, my eye is really painful inside there, deep. What are you going to do? You don't need it. And this is really, really, really sad because, so you learn the acupuncture technique, okay, and they say, okay, I'm specialized in eye acupuncture, and they can do a 20, 30-year needle. What? What? When you have pain in the eye, do you do like this? I mean, what are you doing? No, it's all neck here. Okay, so you release the muscle. Why is that? Because when you have a neck tension, right? Okay, this muscle will be pulling, and this is aponeurosis going this way, right? So you have tension, all this tension, right? So now you're trying to operate your eye, you're going to have pain inside. Makes sense, right? One function of neck, people don't realize it. Why does the neck need so many muscles? Do you ever think about it? Because the neck only what, 9 pounds, 20 pounds? Okay. Why do you need so many muscles? So you see that picture there, right? Well, because here, okay, in order for our body balance, right, we need eyesight, we need an ear, okay? So those the signals constantly sent to the GPG, okay, CPG, tell the body how to react, and we, if you pay attention to how people move, or you pay attention to how the bird fly, or animals chasing after the prey, the whole body moving around, and the neck is already like this. Very, very small movement, because they need the eyes and the ears, okay? Something here. We need eyes, ear to get our balance. You cross the eye and stand there, pretty soon it starts going around, yeah? It starts to shake yours. Did you guys ever try to do that? Stand up, close your eyes, in a few minutes it starts to go all over the place because you don't have eyes. Okay. For that, you need the neck, flexible neck. Okay, so the elderly has one problem, their neck starts to get tight. So their CPG doesn't work very well, so they start to have problems of balancing. They say, oh, well, the nerve is deteriorating. No, it's neck. You can observe, okay, when elderly patient comes in, they ask them to move the neck. And you can see they have lots of them have vastly reduced range of motion. Okay. One time I have a patient, elderly, right? And after the treatment, next time he said, well, you know, a couple of times later, he said, I noticed that when I turn around to see the car, I don't have to turn my whole body to do that. It's so exciting, right? Just turn the neck, you can't do it. Okay. Then you have to be careful here. So people, especially elderly, they don't know they have neck problem. Even though they have a very stiff neck, they don't. Because it's kind of used to that. But for you, you need to pay attention to that because it has to do a lot of other things, okay? One thing I'm right now is kind of concerned is about, you know, you talk about all these dementia, right? or dementia, and you have all kind of theory. I mean, this is back in the 1970s. Oh, dementia because the nerve and the brain has aluminum compound accumulation. I think you will probably still feel that. But one of the very fundamental things about dementia is the blood supply to the brain area. Okay, when you have tight neck, the brain has difficult to have oxygen blood. Remember that. Okay? No oxygenation, no function of the brain. And then look at how many people, elderly, they have very tight neck. Right? Okay. So here, what we do is that we search the fourth line. Okay, what do we do? Okay, so in the neck, right? You say, okay, up and down. Okay, and this is what fourth line is. Yeah, sagittal plane. Yes. So for this the function, use 220, 224. Okay, 224 is especially good for the junction between the C7 and T1. Okay, so this fourth line. So you do a needle here or do a needle here when they have problem. Okay, and you might have to do a little stimulation. Remember that, right? When you do the GDO, you have to really make a GDO, right? Function. Okay. At the same token, because you are talking about this is a center line, so a lot of times when you have the pain in the lower part of the body, like the coccyx, right? Or the low back, like between junction and sacral. The 220 is very good too. The 24 is very good too, because it's the same fourth line, yes? Okay? So those are things that you have to keep in your mind when you treat the low back here, right? Also extension or neck flexion, right? 15 degree, 30 degree probably. And then you go, and you see this gap down here, you know they have problem. Okay, you know they have problem. Okay, typically you can do like this, right? All the way down here. A lot of people cannot do that. And now you know they have problem. Okay, so do that, right? What if the tension, what the tension is not on the spine, rather it's on the either side of the spine, the physiology. Okay. In that situation, you have to use SI3. Okay. And now you ask question, how come SI3 is the low of the spine? Right? Why of the two channel? Why is it? Well, it's very complicated, but anyway, it works. Okay, it works. Okay. So when the pain is on either side of the spine, you do it the same side, but sometimes you have to do the other side. Okay, and this has to do how muscle work. They don't work by itself. It always works several together. Yeah. So if this side is tight, this side could be tight too. So you have to do both of them. Okay. So people say, oh, which side to do? Well, I would typically say to both sides, right? You might want the same side first, but okay, you want to cover both of them. Okay. So here it tells you the center line circle point, right? You have 220 here, Bai Hui, Chengjiang 24, right? And the SI3, sometimes they call TB3, right? Sanjiao or the TB, okay. And because of the body complexity, the same point could be used for something else, okay? And I don't really talk about it because you cannot cover it all because the body is just so complex, okay? So these are the things that work for those problems. You may find it works for something else. Like for instance, if you use SI3 a lot, it solves a lot of problems, okay? But the problem here is you use that one here, and that one is very sensitive. Okay, I don't use use that one until the person has pain along the spine. from up here down to all the way down. So, because it works on the spine, it's the best point for use for what? For hernia disc problem. What can you do? I mean, hernia disc is the disc is kind of extruded, right? Extruded from the spine. What are you going to do with that? So how do you treat that? How do we treat it? Why does that work? Si3 work. Any idea? Huh? Yes. How does Golgi tendon work for that? Okay. Here you have to understand one thing, right? And this goes back to my knee problem. Okay. Your mind is fixated. Say, oh, this is gap down here. It's too narrow, so therefore you have a problem. Same with the hernia disc. Well, because your this is being squeezed out. Well, you step back and say, how does it get squeezed out? What makes it squeeze out? It's a muscle. It's a muscle tension that squeezes out. Think about it, eh? So for everybody who has a hernia disc, they always, oh, I feel a pop, and then after that, it's just like that, right? And obviously, there was a pain saying through the spine and the muscle contract and would not let go. Okay, one side of the spine. So it would not go, so the spine has to crooked, yeah? And that will be painful, so they would never be able to fix it by themselves. Yes? So you use the Si3, what happened? The muscle along the spine is relaxed. You ask them move around. Every time they move, you get better. I have a patient who is actually really messed up the back, and he transferred from the east here and met this lady of my patient and she asked him to come. So he came and they do a needle on the Si3, right? Level 3 and a couple other points. And about 30 minutes later, he got up and was very happy. He said, oh, wow, I'm going to dance. And he told me one thing. In the beginning, he was really not happy because his complaint, his back is really painful, couldn't move. Okay, and I treated hand and feet, right? Lying down, I said, what kind of doctor is this? And you are going to find some videos. People have a question. Hey, doctor, my pain is on my back. You have to explain that to them, okay? Otherwise, I mean, they would have the doubt. But in the end, they would agree with you, okay? Because the result is there. Yeah. So from the back. The next one is sideways. Okay. Now remember, right? When the patient cannot do it sideways, right? A lot of people cannot do it, and some people can do very well. But anyway, so when they have problem down here, remember, right? When you do this, the tension, where's the tension line? Right here, yes? Yeah? Go up here. Yeah? Yes? The tension line. Force is going straight. And then you have maybe some support and then change direction, but it's still straight, yes? Okay. And you don't care what muscle is involved, really. But you do care which muscle has a tendon organ right there. So for this, you choose Li14. Now, typically, Li14 is on the Li, right? Okay, so it's not at the tip of the deltoid, it's on the side. Okay, so the point will be the junction between the deltoid and the bicep, the junction, and you can feel that it's kind of tender for a lot of time. You can feel it tender. If you have tenderness, you know you got a problem on the neck, sideways. Okay, so you go about 10 degrees or 15 degrees upward. Okay, now you remember that, right? When you do like this, right, you actually, this side will involve this muscle here, right? Okay, and vice versa. So typically you would do both sides, okay, on both sides. Okay, so this was side, okay. Say, oh, I have a pain over this ridge here, some point. Because it's the same tension line, yeah, okay? Okay, now this is very interesting. The Lawson, I think probably everybody knows that by now, right? If you don't know who you talk to. Okay, in the Chinese, Lawson literally means you're just sleeping and you fell off the pillow, so you have a stiff neck, right? So you ask them to turn around to sideways. And if they cannot do it, typically it's 30, oh, I'm good. Okay, and then a little more, they cannot do that. So you know they have problem, right? So use Lawson. Okay. And the other one is Sanjiao Ten. And I think here is very, very interesting because over a year I start observe. And I would essentially teach the mind clinic these things. And then I started to kind of notice other ships, they also use the same point. So I said, okay, it must be going around. Okay. Okay, now, so those are essentially everything you need to know for next shoulder. One additional thing, and this is a recent discovery. There are some people, actually two things, but okay. One is that for some people, their neck, actually this is not the whole neck, but one certain point of the neck, like center, like the C4, when you turn it very tight, C3, C4, very tight, right? Like something there, and for that, you will have to use lung 1 on the other side. Very interesting. But it makes sense because this muscle coming down here. Okay, so when there's tension, this has got the tension right here. Now you got a first hand. So if anything doesn't work, and you try this lung 1. How about if they go down, right? You say, okay, this is a 220, then 24. You say, oh, the pain is right up here at the junction between the skull and the neck. Okay. Now this one goes all the way down to UV 65. Makes sense, right? The whole tension goes up down. Right? You do like this, you can see the tension right there. Okay. This is also very famous for people. They will come here and the neck shoulder is fine, but my pain is right here. Okay? Trapezius. Oh, what are you going to put a needle in the other? It doesn't work. It's right here. Okay. Okay. You can feel that at below the junction of the arm. Okay, and the side of the body here. Yeah. Junction there. When you have tension down here, you do needle down here, upward about 15 degrees. When people are lying down, right, on the bed, and you kind of do like this. Important point is the qi. Okay, and the qi is not what you feel; it's how patient react. So. So for instance, I would tell the student to, okay, now neck problem, oh, just so simple, this one and that one, and they will come back, it doesn't work. And then we come down here, and then it works. Okay? Because this is the most fundamental thing. The qi, you have to really move the qi And here, the reason behind the moving the qi is you have to stimulate the GTO. Because you do a needle in there, GTO, okay, send a signal. And then maybe a little bit of tension there, send a few signals. And pretty soon you just forget it. Doesn't matter. The body says, oh, I forget it. So the qi doesn't really move. The other thing is actually even more important when you do the manipulation, ask patient to move around, is to modify the pattern, the CP, central pattern generator. Because central pattern generator is the one decide how muscle tension is going to be, and it learns all the time. So when you're pain, your body starts to control it, have different bad posture. Your CPG remember that and will keep like that. So when you do a needle, you want them to change. You want the CPG to change, to modify, to restore to the original healthy one. So that you ask patient when you do a needle, ask them move around, they feel better. It changes what is stored in the CPG. For the time, it will come back to, but so you treat a couple more times until it's normalized. And this is where the doctor are so puzzled by the chronicity of the pain. Okay, once the patient has pain, they couldn't treat it, and pretty soon it's pain to stay. Because the body, the CPD decide this is the way it should be. They won't change. And so the patient will be always painful and cannot go back. You say, oh, the lioness do that. You cannot do it. You can do the exercise, doesn't do it. You have to change this, the pain, and let the body start to learn the right way. Make sense? Okay? And this is very important. You do a needle down there, move there. And if you ask them to move too much, sometimes too much, and the next day they will be very painful. They will, oh, next day I cannot move. But the third day is good. Oh, I feel so good. Because, you know, certain muscle has been in certain way, not been moved. So when you ask them move around, the body doesn't know how to do it. So they will have this reaction. Okay, so you have to, if you're a little bit assertive, then you have to kind of, okay, if you tomorrow you feel bad, don't worry about it. It will be better. Okay? Okay. So just tap.
Just tap.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just tap. Because you have so many different ways of doing it. Okay, and some people say, okay, fly needle. Okay, if you want to have huge stimulation, you fly needle, right? But in some sensitive spot, you don't fly, just tap, very gentle tap, and you will see.
And like for month one.
Huh?
Oh, this
Yeah.
one? Oh, okay.
Yeah. You don't do that. No, tap in on the side,
Okay.
not on the head.
Okay.
Okay. So the qi is the most important. Okay. So here, the conclusion here is actually the meridian. Look at the fourth line. If you just start to look at the meridian, it's actually is the fourth line, the tension line throughout the body. So it's extremely useful. Okay. But if you say physical does it exist, it doesn't. So is the force. Does it exist? Physical is not there. Tension, physical is not there, but it's there because you cannot sense it, you cannot see it. The gravity grab you, yes? Yes? Can you show me? No, you cannot show me. You cannot touch it. It's there. Meridian is that fourth line throughout the body. Furthermore, if you look at the yin and yang, right? Yin and yang. This is yin, this is yang. Yes? Yin, yang, right? Stomach meridian is yang min. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yang min meridian, right? Where did it go? goes through the yin, right? How will yang meridian goes through in outside the body? Doesn't make sense, right? But it is. So why would yang go through the yin? Well, because the fourth line of the yang is going through the body front. Makes sense, right? Yang right? Yang meridian is from here. Okay, this is yang, right? Actually, this is I don't know what this is. We know yang is here, but this is, I don't know. Okay, this is yang right? Yang side, outside. Yes? Letter is outside.
Yeah.
Back is outside, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is yin, right?
Yes.
Okay, so all yang meridian should go like this, right? Okay? But the yang the stomach meridian, right? Where did it go? It goes here
Front.
and come here. And going through the front of the body, which is the yin side of the body. Until you get here and to the face. Now face is all yang, there's no yin. Okay. Okay. All you have to demonstrate is to try to grab something very heavy. You can see your muscle go. All this muscle is very tight, right? That is the yang meridian. Okay? So yes, meridian exists. All right?
Okay.
And very, very useful. Okay, this is essentially how you